sticking in 2000s. Still sticking in 2000s, or not sticking in 2000s. My fault. Sticking in the big three era per era. 2000s. I got Jay-Z, Eminem, and 50 Cent. And it's actually, before I get there, I found it interesting you put Eminem in there because I know that he was in 96 and did his thing. And then obviously Slim Shady in 98, I want to say, or 99. But
Indeed.
So my next question to you is, and I'm going to let you answer this one real quick too. I'm going to let you start it off. So the big three era in 2000s, what you got?
I got damn. I mean, I gotta put M. I gotta put Kanye.
Okay, I feel like you're gonna say Wayne.
And 50. I didn't get into Wayne until Carter 2.
Oh, okay. I ain't getting into Wayne until Carter 3. I mean, I was a Cash Money Wayne guy. Like I love Wayne with Cash Money, but mixtape Wheezy and all up until then, I was like in and out. But I really started fucking with him during Carter 3.
Yeah. See, I hated all of that early Cash Money shit. My sister loved that shit.
Oh, I loved Cash Money, dog. Early Cash Money, that shit, bro.
Bro, my sister had all of them Pen and Pixel posters and shit. All of that shit, bro.
Funny as hell.
All them, Jaguars with the diamond rings and shit on the cover. Like she, all of that shit.
You know what's funny about the 2000s era, bro? Because I feel like that was a very interesting era. Because I feel like there wasn't a lot of people holding it down. Like there was a lot of 4-year runs, 5-year runs. Like there was a lot of like real quick runs in the 2000s, in my opinion. So like when you mention Kanye and stuff like that, because like I got 50, M, and J. Those are my guys in the big three era for the 2000s for me. You know what I'm saying? Because go ahead.
I'm about to say I don't know because if I'm thinking album, I think probably the 2000s might have the best album runs, bro. I don't know, bro.
No, they got the best album runs, but because there was so many. Because think about it, we just mentioned two different threes, right? But then you could even be like Nelly was in there. You could say Wayne was in there. You threw Kanye. Who else is out there? Ludacris. You could put Ludacris in the 2000s era, but they all had like
you could put runs. You could put Game. You have to put Game in there. There's so many, but like I said, like it goes back to like when you start going down the list. Outside of, in my opinion, with J and M, they had like a good J and M, they had the decade run in my opinion, but even then M disappeared for a lot of the decade too. You know what I'm saying? And then J, he said he was going to retire. You know what I'm saying? But his albums lasted in. And then 50, he had like a 4-year run. Like 2000 is a very tricky era because there was so many different artists that had like a 4 or 5 year run, bro. Yeah.
That's like the trickiest era to call. Who really ran it?
Hell yeah. Facts. And like I said earlier, a lot of the motherfuckers that came back that was relevant and had classic debuts in the 90s, they had basically classic reintroductions in the 2000s.
Classic runs though.
Outkast.
Yeah.
Outkast with Stankonia, Common with B, Jay-Z, Blueprint, Nas, Stillmatic. Like these, like niggas had their returns. To Cal, Method Man. Like niggas had niggas had their moments when they came back, and it was like that's why I like the 2000s better than the 90s. Because I look at 90s as like not the blueprint, like the prototype.
I was gonna literally say the blueprint myself.
I look like the prototype. I kind of look at it like the prototype. I think they perfected it in the 2000s.
Okay, and then the 80s was probably the blueprint, and then 90s prototype, and then the perfection started happening. And I like that assessment. I can't not disagree with you on that. I can't.
Yeah, and that's why I'm like, it's so many classic albums from the 2000s, bro. And shit, even shit nobody talks about. Shit like Lil Brother's album. Shit like
I mean, you throw Mystical in there too, bro. Mystical had a classic. Yeah,
Tarantula
too, bro. That's what I'm saying.
Tarantula is my shit.
I'm telling you,
Tarantula.
there's a lot in the 2000s, dog, and I think the sound just expanded, and I think hip hop also took on a global stance versus how it was in the 90s, and that's why I think it's more difficult to base what that big three was in the 2000s. It's not as clear cut as the 90s and the 80s would be, because I think it took on a global stance. You know what I mean? Because everybody had to, and then you gotta put in streaming, you know what I'm saying? Downloading shit, Napster, LimeWire, Shazam.
Kazaa.
I don't know why Shazam like that, but like
Kazaa, LimeWire, FrostWire.
All that shit, you know what I'm saying? And then like the transition of how music was even being listened to, you know what I mean, back then. Like everything was kind of changing around that time too, which kind of led into the 2010s and on. But
from CDs to MP3s,
exactly.
niggas had
You know, niggas didn't have booklets and CDs in the cars no more. Niggas just had one little object and stuff and just plugged it into the op.
Boy, hey, I remember niggas had the motherfucking CD cases and you would put the CD cover case in the front of that motherfucker. So you always, yeah, bro.
Times was different, bro. Times was different.
That was back when you can go buy a CD like a day or two before it come out if you cool with the nigga that work up there. Like you ain't getting no album before it drop on streaming now. You're not gonna get that shit. But back then you could have been the first nigga to hear some shit.
Or you be the last nigga and get sold out and be like, damn, I gotta wait a couple of weeks for the shipments to come back. Like, yo, people forget how hard.
Oh God. Hey, bro, I remember I heard 808's and Heartbreak like 3 days before it officially came out.
Mm-hmm.
And I hated that fucking album when I first heard it.
You know what's funny? I love that album.
I do. No, I love it now. But when it first came out, I didn't like it. But see, I feel like, but I think that's kind of like a testament to how ahead of his time that nigga was. Because if that album came out today, like if Kanye didn't do none of the stupid shit he be doing and all of that, and he just dropped 808's and Heartbreak the way it was now, then brand new, nobody heard it, I think that shit would go crazy.
Big facts. But that was when he was going crazy. I think that was Amber Rose era too. I ain't gonna lie. I feel like that was right after, because Dark Twisted Fantasy came out like right after that.
Yeah, that was right after his mama died.
Yeah, right after
808's and Heartbreak. Yeah.
Yo, 2000s is interesting as fuck. I mean, I feel like I gotta re-gauge this thought process a little bit because I feel like there's so much music that happened and so many albums, so many projects. Like, what would you consider the top albums of the 2000s? Like let's say top 5 albums in the 2000s. Like, I would say for me, it would be Jay-Z's Blueprint, right? Not Blueprint. Okay. I'd say Black Album. I think Black Album had a little bit more impact in the 2000s. Like, Blueprint 1 kind of sparked off the beef and shit, I feel like. But I think Black Album was just different. Plus, he was retiring. I think 50's album, Get Rich or Die Trying, obviously. That's just we ain't got to explain too much on that, man. Like, that was there. I'll put Marshall Mathers' LP in there, mainly because of just the controversy that it brought and all of that. I would throw... This could be a toss-up because you can go either in 2001 with Ludacris, or you can argue and flip it out with T.I., right? When in like 2007 with the Down South sound.
Trap music or urban legend?
Yeah. So I'm gonna stick with Luda because I'm a Ludacris guy. And then kind of towards the back end, I would probably throw some Jeezy in there. You know what I'm saying? I'll probably throw Jeezy in there with TM, the original TM, I think, because that's somewhere around there. Yeah. So I think those are like the big albums in 2000, in my opinion.
Don't get caught. Yeah, that was my shit. Let me see. For me, my top 5 albums, I'm gonna have to go with Late Registration by Kanye. I'm gonna go Late Registration. I'm gonna have to go. See, I like a lot of sophomore albums too, there, because I'm gonna have to go with Doctor's Advocate by The Game.
Okay.
Whoo. This is gonna be a hot take because niggas swear. And I was just listening to this album religiously at work earlier today because niggas hate this album and I don't know why. I'm gonna say Kingdom Come by Jay-Z.
You know what's funny? I fuck with you on that because I actually like that album because I liked a lot of the songs. Dig a Hole, Show Me What You Got. Like, it was a well put together album, dog. I think it's because people were mad that he said he's retired and he dropped that album after the retirement. I think that's what it was.
Yeah. Because like that, it had Dr. Dre production on that motherfucking 30s, the new 20. Like classic sounding Dre beats with Jay.
I like that. As corny as it was at the time, I feel like it grew onto me a little bit.
See, I love that shit. That shit wasn't even corny to me. That Just Blaze beat, Just Blaze. So yeah, and then let me see. I'm gonna have to go with Common's B. Did I say that already?
No, you didn't bring up Common. I think you got Kanye, Game, and Jay.
Kanye, Game, Jay, Common, B, and then my 5th one, I'm gonna have to go with Sound of Revenge, Chameleon.
Ooh, smooth. This is the sound of revenge.
Yeah.
That was my shit, bro. Yeah. Military man.
Yeah. I think it said bouncing off my chest, just staring at it like a pervert.
He was rapping in that shit. Him and Paul Wall and Mike, what the fuck is his name? Mike Jones? Yeah. I like that trio. I like the trio, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
That's a sleeper, bro. The Chameleon, because I feel like that was like putting Houston on a little bit too, and introducing Chopped and Screwed, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, a lot of people was like, cause with us, we didn't get a lot of like anything else. Like, cause I'm like Oklahoma, we right above Texas.
Yeah.
So like we got all of that shit. We got all the Swisher House shit, the all the Slim Thug shit, Boss Hog Outlaw shit,
the down south regional shit. Regional wars is real. That shit's real.
Yeah, hey, real shit.
Hell yeah.
Real shit. Like, and I was never really a big fan of this nigga, but everybody in my family banging Zero all day. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I Trey the Truth. I like Trey the Truth. I always like this production style more.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm not too familiar with that because you obviously know up north it's hard to get that up here. It's hard to get that shit up.
Hey, listen. I suggest I'm gonna suggest you a Trey the Truth album that you listen to on your own time, bro. Or you know what I'm saying? Or if you want to react shit, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. But listen, he got a motherfucking a lot of albums. But it was an era where this nigga was like really on like his Pac shit. Like listen to either Life Goes On or Restless.
Okay.
Them are two, like if you'll be like, okay, I see when it comes to that shit.
Got it.
And like I know you've heard Screwed Up, Trey the Truth and Lil Wayne.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, around that motherfucking era. Right. But yeah. Them would be my five.
That works.
Niggas don't show love to Cooper like that no more.